So there's a big problem, I should say a big problem, there's a massive problem in real estate right now, and unfortunately it centers around wire fraud, where bad actors are seeking to divert funds that are transferring in and out of a real estate transaction into fraudsters' hands, essentially diverting them into fraudulent accounts. When we think about a 1031 exchange, by nature, we're typically dealing with some of the highest values of properties and a lot of money that's moving between title companies or law firms and qualified intermediaries that are assisting the exchanger in protecting those funds during the exchange period. And the qualified intermediary will hold a segregated escrow account for the benefit of the exchanger. A good qualified intermediary should be able to explain how they're protecting your personal information, how they're encrypting your data, how the transaction information is private, but they should also be able to clearly kind of walk you through how are you going to protect the funds when I close on my relinquished property. The money's going to move to your escrow account as a qualified intermediary. What are you going to do to protect those funds, not only while you have them, but how are you going to get them safely to the title company or law firm assisting in the closing of the relinquished property or properties? And the simple truth is not all qualified intermediaries are created equal. Some have made the investment in technology and security, and some others simply haven't. So while you may save $100 here or $100 there, if you're shopping for a qualified intermediary, you need to make sure that there's cost and benefit. There's a huge benefit, even if it's a little bit more money, to make sure that the things we talked about, the data, the personal information, the transactional level information, and most importantly, your funds are protected during the process. At National 1031, we use a platform called Certified. It's the leading wire fraud prevention solution in the country, and it provides the ability for National 1031 to actually ensure those closing funds that are coming in to our escrow account, and as the replacement properties are closing, we'll safely and on an insured basis move those funds out of our escrow account to the escrow account of the title company or the law firm that is assisting in the closing. So both the incoming and the outgoing funds transfers are fully protected. Some of the red flags to watch out for fraud: an email that has wiring instructions that seem to come from a qualified intermediary or a title company. There's a sense of urgency embedded in the email. Hey, you need to wire these funds out. I've attached the wiring instructions, and if you don't, it may affect the closing, or you might not qualify for a 1031 exchange, or some excuse as to why the funds need to move. And then making sure that your qualified intermediary and your title provider, frankly, because they work hand in hand, have an incident response plan that, God forbid something were to happen, do they know what to do to kind of mitigate that loss? So again, a 1031 exchange qualified intermediary should be able to articulate how your personal information, how the transaction level information, and how the funds will be protected all the way through the essentially up to 180 days of deferred exchange timeframe.